open cars. That number 40 is 5th.
Uh-oh.
Trouble.
Braking hard, stay down.
Oh, there is the 66. Chandler Smith in the wall. Hard. He was running 3rd. And he is done.
Ooh, not clear.
Yeah, and you see.
I think he was trying to get down and fill that gap there, Kevin. Just not clear.
Who was the second one? Clint,
The 7, I believe.
The 7
Justin
car.
Haley.
Yeah, and you saw the flames come out of Justin Haley. He saw Chandler Smith coming down the racetrack while he was clearly still underneath. And Haley knew that.
Yeah, he lifted, tried to stay out of it. He was way too.
Yeah,
up the side.
And it looked like
that's a big hit, Kevin.
Yeah, there's damage to several cars.
See,
right
all
there.
guy are barely getting through there. Priest as well. A lot of cars with some damage.
So Bubba Wallace has damage, so does J.J. Yaley, so does Ty Gibbs, and there is the end of the race for Elio Castroneves.
Top lane, and Brad Keselowski was in the middle lane to block those guys as they were running. And that was a really aggressive block right there.
Slam as Suarez slams into Keselowski, and Bowman is a victim as well.
That's that block you were talking about. Broke that group up.
The closing rate was just too much to overcome there.
Well, that and then it starts to, you see Daniel Suarez checked up, Alex Bowman got into the back of him, and it just, that accordion, when they check up like that, you can't see. The further that you get back, it becomes harder and faster. You know, to slow down, it's harder because things are happening so much faster.
It's just an aggressive block. You know, the plan was they had him staggered, and it really did slow that line up. When he tried to make the move to make the pass, wasn't there. Stacked them all up, the rest is history.
Bowman into the safer barrier after tires blow out. This is from Ryan Blaney.
Front's got one signal down outside.
Put that car in the right position.
Eric Jones on the outside. Busher the pusher. Cindric alone as Logano's in the middle now. Here they come to the stripe, and they're all crashing behind Austin Cindric, who I believe has beaten Eric Jones by inches.
LaJoy
What the heck happened?
So LaJoy is in this.
See what happens behind the leaders.
Yeah, you see the 20 car was just on the outside of SVG right there, and they all just ran out of room. Kind of squeezed him up into the wall and wrecked some of those cars at the end. But all that congestion started when Denny Hamlin got underneath Joey Logano, and when Joey got in the middle of the pack right there, then everything starts to get congested. But Bell was on the outside of that 88 just a little bit and squeezed him in the fence, and off they go.
Hard to believe how that wiped out just about the entire rest of the field. Now let's go back and look at the moment of caution which determined the finish of this race.
Back straightaway and slip him, right? Slip him to the inside. Oh,
Kane Honeycutt goes around. Was just battling for the lead, now hard into the inside wall. Caution comes out for the first time.
To see the 38 get to the back bumper of the 45 just a little, got a little bit loose right there. It looked like it hit. There's some bumps coming off of turn 4 right there, and sometimes it'll just get the truck loose, or if you touch that splitter just barely on the apron, it'll make that truck come around.
4 laps in, 96 to go. We are under caution for this incident right here. Caden Honeycutt, first crash of the night.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Fords lined up on the outside. I'm bad at math, but it's fun to see those guys behind you when you know they're not moving.
Look at that. Our pylon just lit up blue.
Oh, yeah,
all the Fords are spinning around the number 5. That's Tony Breidinger. She gets it. Thought she had a chance.
Gets a little loose.
Same thing. And turn 4 to me was always one of those corners that you had to anticipate where your truck was going to be. I felt like I always needed to start having a little bit of wheel unloaded out of the truck. If you got to that part of the corner where you needed to, the banking started to flatten out, I always felt like I needed to have the wheel unwound right there, or the truck would snap the back around if I had the front tires turned too far. I always felt like I needed to be in a good position with the wheels somewhere.
Oh, right there.
Yep.
Oh, man.
Sutton just got caught up, slipped out the oil on the track.
Yeah, I wonder if he just made a quick move and that kind of got the truck upset, or maybe he got in the oil there.
Yeah, I bet that all that smoke probably got his attention and he kind of overreacted there, going up the racetrack and just got loose.
He probably didn't see.
Yeah.
Right. When you think about, like, that doesn't look like a lot of smoke, but you see a little. Here's where I'm talking about where they're going to make speed. See how they're catching Parker Kligerman in front of them. Oh, and here's a caution. This is what's going to screw the whole thing up.
I was just going to say their plan worked out until now. Greenfield hardened to the inside wall. That'll bring out our 6th caution. Here's what happened to Clay Greenfield. That 95 truck, the yellow one.
Turn 4 again. And
third time tonight.
Yeah, and the way that those trucks and all the cars go over that section of the corner, we've talked about it all night. They just get free right there, and sometimes they get tight and you wind up with wheel, but then it snaps. So that loose condition has definitely popped up several times tonight.
I think it's just getting worse and worse over the years. I don't remember it being this bad in the truck series. It seems like just over time, the track loses grip, right? The asphalt gets a little bit worn out. And a lot of it depends on how aggressive you want to be. We talked about that too, Kevin, about downforce versus drag. You want your truck to go.
It looks great.
Had a little help. Make every wash count.
Everywhere but the seat. The seat is leather.
Alan, we get it. You love your bike. We do too.
That's why we're America's #1 motorcycle insurer.
But do you have to wedge it into everything?
What? I don't do that. This reminds me of my bike. The Wolf was about the size of my new motorcycle. Have you seen it, by the way?
Yeah. What'd you see there, Joseph?
Trouble. I think there's a checkup early ahead of them when the 11. Let's watch that back one more time. Yeah, it's already kind of started there. The kind of pushes the 91 a little bit sideways to where Ben Rhodes gets to his outside a little bit and gets the timing off and just clips him in the corner of his bumper, and that just sets off a chain reaction of just trucks get destroyed.
Yeah, and the further that you get back, when those trucks check up in the front of that line right there, and then all of a sudden the trucks that are 2 or 3 behind you don't see anything happening, and they keep shoving you, and you're trying to let off, and you get into the outside like we saw Ben Rhodes do into the right rear quarter panel there, and it just sets this wreck off.
Yeah, I mean, you got to think. I mean, you're all over the truck in front of you. All you see is rear spoiler. So when that truck checks up, there's no time for you to really, adapt or adjust to that, and then you just run into each other.
And you saw the flames come out of the pipes of the 99 truck in that shot right there.
That was a big hit by Michael McDowell in the 07, head on. There's the 71. Look at Raja Caruth.
That's the worst slide. There's a worst feeling, I think, in motorsports, because it's the longest slide, knowing an impact is coming your way. And you just hope it doesn't hurt that bad. But that's a pretty good hit there.
Just destroyed the truck front to back. On board the Ford Performance, on board Ty Majeski.
And that's what I'm talking about right there. Like, you didn't hear a lot of throttle lift, and he was being shoved.
Hang on to his truck.
He's got his teammates behind him. Ben Rhodes goes up, gets into the trucks on the outside. Ben Rhodes goes around. Sauter goes around. Parker Kligerman out front. Corey Heim behind him. They're wrecking behind him. Lane Riggs goes around. More trucks wreck. Caution light is out.
Backup that occurred. So we'll take a look here. Yeah, you see he's offset. Now he got centered back up right there. It's that they got checked up in front of him, and Jesse Love doesn't know that at that moment. You're trying to get to the back bumper and give a push. And listen, it's lap 5, lap 6 of the race. You're kind of then starting to get a little bit more aggressive. You want to get your lane to go forward. And he just got into the back of Brandon, and you see turned him into the outside wall. Got Carson Quapple as well. A lot of the rookies got caught up in this. I think
Daniel Dye.
Yeah.
Yeah, this collected a lot of rookies. It looked like Connor Zilch maybe got away with it, having just put 4 tires on, little front end damage. But this is the thing that you'll hear a lot of the spotters talk about as well. is that they'll give you the distance in front of you of the car that's in front to the back, basically trying to give you the idea that you can't push that car in front of you. But this checkup happened so quick, I don't think he could react.
And Parker, it looks like it starts actually with Justin Allgaier on the front row. He got a little loose and checks up, and then just like as you're on the interstate, you get 4 or 5 rows back, it's magnified, and that's when someone ends up getting turned. The savior of this wreck for a lot of guys like Harrison Burton is that that's all paved now and not grass.
This is our race to stop suicide onboard camera. You're riding with Daniel Dye.
You see it on the left here, that bright yellow car, Brandon Jones. Oh, it's just
nowhere to go.
And there's just it takes so little, such a small bump in a compression like that to just upset the race car. There's nothing Brandon Jones could do, and he's spinning from the front.
Under caution early at Daytona. Several cars involved on the back straightaway. You're watching the NASCAR Xfinity Series season opener.
If he can get a little bit of a run, Creed might pull that. You want to time that out so you have a little bit of momentum. You can see they're all kind of checking up right there as the draft is working.
Toyota's trying to mount a charge in that low lane.
Oh!
And there goes Nick Sanchez. 48 into the wall.
Very similar to what we saw in the first him. It's not that much contact, but as Parker said, you're vulnerable right there. You really want to get into somebody just on the exit of the corner and then generate that push all the way down the straightaway. Hitting him on the edge of the corner, just not good. But he maybe was getting a little bit too much of a push from just Allgaier right there who was behind him.
Just creating the runs, and you just want to keep pushing right here. And it's also sort of the angle you hit. If you hit them a little bit too far to the left, that upsets the car. And right at that point, at the entry of the corner, it's just the toughest. I did the same to Austin Hill at Talladega at the end of last year. Spun him out without barely even touching him because the cars are so light at that point of time. And this is just a mistimed bump draft that you just, you know, it happens in this racing because you're pushing. You're being aggressive.
That many at one time because you lose a little bit of time getting on pit road when everyone's trying to get slowed down.
It's incredibly slick as we see them all coming down. It's really tough to get slowed up and not lock up those tires, but they all do a great job.
Yeah, Sam Mayer did an exceptional job right there digging down the pit road on the outside.
Dylan.
And it was big for Ryan Sieg in that first pit box as we got a crash in the infield. Big for Sieg to get all the way to the left, being that first pit box, so nobody came to the inside of him as he tried to pull into his marks. Sheldon Creed in as well, fuel only
as
for
we
him.
can see on our
5 car.
Yeah, the blue and white. Oh, he is going way too fast.
Not even close. Like, not even close to hitting his braking. I don't know how he could have missed it by that far. That's unbelievable.
You know, pit road speed is 55 miles an hour. I mean, he's going double that.
You got to feel so bad for Balicki too, because he's going pit road speed,
and he caught a little bit of Ryan Truex, that right rear fender.
Yeah,
so
look at that damage.
Damage control on that as well, and that's not missing your braking point. That is just completely missing.
Maybe he lost brakes. Like, you don't know. Maybe he got on the brakes there. It looks like he had no brakes.
There was like nothing happening.
Yeah, maybe he just had no control over his car.
Because that Sunoco sign off turn 4, that's a great reference for people. As you come off of turn 4, you use that and start to encroach on the.
It's weird. I can see the brakes locked up if you look at the top of the screen. So it's maybe he lost like just rear brakes. That's the front's locked up,
and you don't hit that pedal that hard until you come down pit road. Oh yeah, he's just got.
No, it looked like he just misjudged that. Man.
Stretch like that, but he's held on to it. He's kept it up there.
Watch Justin Allgaier in the 7 car in the middle of the pack. He turns Justin.
That's Justin Bonsignor. Out of shape, and we're under caution again.
Oh, Anthony Alfredo in it.
Made it to 8 laps to go.
Yeah, I mean, it was getting aggressive.
Super unsettles them, and then Justin Allgaier's going through the middle here. And that's when it just
pulled down. You have to be more aggressive, and that's just lack of experience. We saw Jesse Love looking out of that left side mirror. You got to kind of be able to judge that, and Justin missed the judge it. I don't think that Allgaier did anything wrong right there.
Eckes got through. Alfredo was so close, barely gets clipped.
And you know what's tough here? So what happened is, if you look where William Swalich went, Justin Bonsignor was trying to follow the 18, who was fading down to be closer to the inside, do that up top.
Jesse's doing a tremendous job, though, of manipulating both these lanes. You see the outside line is kind of broken up. The 54 is going to have a run on Jesse Love, getting down into turn 3.
Connor Zilic into the wall. Caution is out a half a lap from the white flag, and we'll go to overtime.
Eckes is in that.
4 is Parker Retzlaff. William Sawalich in the 8.
Looks like he squared up on him pretty good. I think that the 88 had to check up. He did for Sheldon Creed in the outside. And again, you don't know that when you're the 7. You're dependent on your spotter to manage all that. But there's just there's words can't come out quick enough to talk about that. You know, the checkup in front of you. And Creed's trying to manage which lane to block right here.
And, you know, one of the things that Connor might have done differently is if he was lined up better with Creed, not so far to the left, you just run in the back of him. But the problem he had is he was lined up to the left so far that if he hits Creed with the speed and momentum he had, he's spinning him out. Yeah. So that was him trying to basically check up that line, but the 7 was pushing him so hard, you just can't do that.
Yeah, it's the end of these races, and you don't get mad because you want to get pushed. You know, Sheldon Creed wanted to get shoved back out front, and it's just when you're 2 or 3 back, you come out on the wrong end of it.
35, Greg Van Alst won an ARCA race here a couple of years ago. Incredible the impact.
Yeah, and I think that shows what I said earlier. The inside is typically a safer place. Sure. You see them wiggling right there. Taylor Gray trying to hang on to it.
Oh, the big crash. And it happened right as Jesse Love was looking at the white flag. The question becomes, did the caution come out before Jesse Love got the white?
And of course,
look at all those cars.
With the flag, it's about pushing the button. Wow.
Sheldon Creed actually had to get off of Taylor Gray right there. Oh.
So Justin Allgaier tried to get down to the middle. There was a lot of sort of slam drafting, as I like to call it, where you're just taking huge runs and running in the back of the car in front of you, which causes a lot of moving around. And Justin tried to get down into 32 there. If Jordan Anderson was there, I just don't think he knew it. He turns down, it cuts down the racetrack, and then that right rears Josh Williams in front of the field. And Jeb Burton, unfortunately, who had a great run going. Ryan Sieg involved. And obviously all the cars that are now just...
It's very similar to the same thing that happened with Allgaier and Bonsignor, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, it's 2 inches and you think you're clear or you don't know they're there.
And it's going to be tight. This
Yeah, they checked up right there in front of Allgaier, and that's why he went to the bottom. He lost a little bit of his momentum.
And he was maybe an inch.
It out back, one of the cars that had to go to the rear on the start, but there's Bowman in 6th place in the 48.
I think that's the benefactor. Oh, we got it. Denny's around.
Denny Hamlin, and around goes Zane Smith. And we're going to be under caution. Oh, Josh Berry in the wall for the Wood brothers.
You see the right rear broke on that 38 car. Denny Hamlin is just at the end of that stack up and checks up and gets hit from behind.
Yep.
From the 38.
Almost had it saved.
And you saw Zane Smith hit the door of the 2 car right there and spin out. That happens a lot. You hit that right front end of the door, and all of a sudden the car will just whip around.
Still out there. On your tight out back.
Just accordioned on him.
Outside.
Boy, Hamlin did a nice job of keeping that car going forward as it slammed down from the banking onto the flat.
Yeah, he actually went down on the flat and then the back.
Huge pushes off of John Hunter Nemechek behind him. Look at this.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Late
on that block.
Stenhouse.
He's still trying. He's up.
Trying to squeeze it. Couldn't do it. Into the wall goes Logano. And with him goes Blaney and Gregson and Chase Elliott.
Got a little greedy there, Kevin.
Start to get, he's not giving up on trying to get this position, and they just all run out of room right there, Clint.
Kyle Busch got knocked to the inside as well as those cars that crashed into the outside.
I did not see him.
Joey's going to be very frustrated with that, with Stenhouse, obviously, but a little bit of patience. I think as fast as his car was, he was going to have another shot at that. Blaney. He was in the position to win this race, was doing nothing wrong, literally in the catbird seat, and got wiped out.
Ryan Blaney there to the inside in blue and yellow, a two-time runner-up. The 500 gets taken out as mayhem ensues. Fell into the wall
off of the front bumper
of Custer, and up in the air goes Ryan Preece, and for the second time in his career he is flipping at Daytona. Good grief.
Off the front bumper. We were talking about a lap before. Custer got to his bumper, that thing went side to side and he couldn't hold on to it. It was one too many.
Ryan Preece a couple of years ago here flipped down the backstretch after getting caught in the grass. There is Christopher Bell with the window net down.
As they come down through this straightaway. Starts there, starts dancing around across the front bumper. Some more here, gets crossed up. Rest is history. There it goes. Now watch the 60 car, Preece. Bam!
Yeah, you saw the...
Gets up on the... That's wild. I've never seen a car do that. That shows how fast they go.
And they pile up behind him. This is from Eric Jones. Oh.
Oh. You think these guys aren't tough?
A devastating crash for Ryan Preece. An incredible camera work by our Fox crew.
I'm so glad to see that window net down and him be able to get out of that thing. Whew, that's scary.
That's unbelievable what it looks like when these cars get caught by the air like that. And I'm with you, Clint. I've never seen one take off with a wheelie like that. But they just flip around like they don't weigh 3,600 pounds.
Well, nothing weighs that much at 186 mile an hour.
Saw the airbox just blow away. The right front tucked up underneath the A-post there.
Car did its job, though.
And he walked away.
So many safety enhancements in these race cars.
So that will likely send us to overtime. It happens on lap 196.
Who's left?
Unbelievable.
We saw the side of that car face the wind, and the roof flaps had not yet come up, and that creates that pressure differential between air over the car and under the car that sends it tumbling.
Well, just like we said, though, I've never seen a car wheelie like that. The roof flaps won't work.
Yep.
Whoa. I've been there. That's a bad feeling. See how quiet they got?
Ah, you see him tuck his head right there.
Looking back at Cole Custer on Christopher Bell.
Yeah, and that Bell car just, it was just not capable of being pushed. And I'd say that that's a lot of the reason that we hadn't seen him up there all night, because that car isn't accepting pushes well. But at this point in the race, you have to just put yourself in a position to throw it all out there and hope that this doesn't happen.
Well, and that's exactly what he did. That's why these guys are where they are in the sport and in their life. See, they do not give up, and they go for it.
Preece got all that air under the nose, and you're right, it looked like it was going to just take off straight ahead. And I think he would have settled down had the car not turned and been side to the wind. And that's what sent it tumbling.
Those shots when that car lands right there, I know we're in slow motion right now, but the impact. that goes through your back and spine. In the mirror doing his block, a quick move on the outside with Denny Hamlin.
Here comes the Ford to his inside. LaJoie, there be pushes on both sides. Custer goes to the outside.
And they crash. Hamlin gets turned into the wall.
Oh my gosh. Still green.
Trying to let the leaders race back.
Hug everybody to them, and when Cole Custer gets to Denny Hamlin, he's at a high rate of speed, gets on the outside, and you see they just all run out of room right there.
Man, they were going for it. Briscoe, this teammate, went to the back bumper at Hamlin as they came.